I just clicked the stream button and it's supposed to stream. Let's try that again. That would explain why nobody was talking over there. Thanks for giving me the heads up, YT. Very cool. All right, now I think it is live. Okay, there we go. All right, if you don't have the last warm up, it should be a kawaii potato on a unicorn. Oh, Lord. All right, we can give it a try. We'll see what happens. All right. Yes, there we go. Thank you, Gummy. We are live everywhere now. I really didn't do anything different. I clicked the exact same button to go live. I don't know why it just doesn't work sometimes. It's really annoying. I'm trying my best, but it's hard. Okay, let's do it over here. Kawaii potato. Have you watched the kawaii potato video from several years ago? I don't think I've ever even heard of that. What's that? Were you streaming last night? No, I'm sorry, Doodlers. This last week has been a lot. It's been a little bit of a brutal week, so I couldn't stream yesterday. I wanted to, but oh boy, it's been a lot. Hanging in there. But we're back today. Hopefully no more days off anytime soon. But yeah, I couldn't make it yesterday. There's too much going on. Unfortunately. Although that's mostly because I show up late on purpose. You show up late on purpose? Listen, as long as you show up, you know, that's all I care about. Alright, so there's an actual video of a kawaii potato. Should I Google it? So I'm like, it's like it's like fan art type vibes. That's what we're doing? Okay, let me look it up. Let me see. I mean, I googled kawaii potato and it's showing me a lot of potato, mostly a pink one. A pink. I don't think potatoes are pink, but okay. I assume that's the main one. You like it, Master? There we go. That's good. All right, so the potato will be very easy to draw. Do you guys remember that TikTok trend? I don't know if trend's the right word, but it was like that. It was this one guy. He was like, I think he was like doing a skit or he's like playing around, but he was like pretending to be really mad. And he's like, you guys, stop saying I look easy to draw. I'm not easy to draw. And then everybody kept drawing his face. And it was so funny. Oh, if you guys haven't seen that, you should look it up. The guy said, stop saying I look easy to draw. And I totally get what they were saying. You know what I mean? And a lot of people did draw them. You know what I mean? So they must have been right. You've seen it? Oh, that's so good. I love that. My favorite thing in the world is really silly stuff like that, I swear. All right, so it looks kind of... Okay, no. This needs to scooch over a little, like so. There we go. All right. It's got cheeks. And then a couple little potato birthmarks, I suppose. There we go. We did it. The potato. It is very kawaii. Welcome back, Alistair. Girl, make your money. Do your job, make your money. I will never judge. All good. I had a hell of a day myself, so I didn't remember. Yeah, it's just, these last 2 weeks in particular have been a lot, man. But hopefully things will be nice and predictable, and our schedule will continue as it should. We shall see. Unicorn. Okay, that's gonna be the hard part. We will see. Okay, let me look up a unicorn. Unicorn. So do unicorns typically have wings or do they not? I feel like the typical unicorn does not have wings, but whenever I think of a unicorn, I think of wings. But I don't think that's right. There's the pretty girls and the popular girls, and I look like a potato, a kawaii potato. I used to quote that so much when I was younger. You know, when I was younger, I was so out of the loop with like internet stuff at all. So there was a lot of stuff that was like huge that I just completely missed, unfortunately. I really feel like I lost out on a whole my generation's culture at the time, unfortunately. You guys, a lot of you guys are probably too young for like MySpace and stuff, but like every person on the planet in my age group at that time had a MySpace, and I was the only one that never even like made an account. I don't know why. I was just a loser, I think. I wasn't cool enough, you know what I mean? But I never had. I remember it was a big deal when I got a Facebook. You know what I mean? And even that I like barely ever used. I just used it to like save my old pictures. Actually, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna draw them separate and then combine them. Okay. Alright, so oof, okay. Oh goodness. Alright. We're gonna do a cute little cartoony version. You had a MySpace? You seem like the type that would have a MySpace. Although, to be fair, that's literally everybody except me, more or less. I don't know why. I probably would have loved it, too. Like, it was like, perfect for young people to, like, express themselves. And I heard there was always a lot of beef with, like, the top, like, friend lists or whatever. People would be like, you lowered me on your friendship list. Are we okay? Like, that kind of thing. But I missed out on all of it, unfortunately, and I'm very sad. And now, like, all the social media sites, they don't let you... Like, the thing with MySpace that was really cool is that you can, like, really customize your page. Like, you can add, like, backgrounds and, like, animations and music and all kinds of really cool stuff. You could, like, make it glittery and... You could customize it pretty much as you want. And that's not really a thing anymore for social media sites. But it was cool, you know? Okay, and then this is the hard part where, like, the face connects. I never... Believe it or not, I never learned horse anatomy, so we're gonna figure it out together. Should I give it anime eyes, maybe? I just think whenever something's cute, I'm supposed to give it anime eyes. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to make something cute. And then I got the floofy hair. Oh, thank you, Gummy. Thank you for posting that. Anybody wants to join? Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. How do I do it over here again? There we go. Pin that. You can pin that. Thank you. Peak social media and all the teens knew how to code. Now we just have gesture. Yeah, it's a tragedy, man. I don't know why they don't let you customize anything anymore, you know? It is kind of weird how you can go from MySpace, which let you do so much more, to like Facebook, where you couldn't really do anything, but Facebook took off like insanely somehow. I don't know why. Because it was really just like a bare bones version of MySpace, pretty much. I learned more dark history that's making me turn towards simulations? What does that mean? I've doodled Husk, but I've sinned. He looks wonky. I failed him. That was what I was afraid of, Gummy, when I was drawing him. Did you do it in the Has-Been Hotel style, or did you do it in your own style? Because I've done both. Not specifically Husk, but like the characters. And it's intimidating. My own. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Sometimes the super, like, stylized characters, it can be so tricky to like do it in your own style, because it could just not work sometimes. Sometimes, like, whatever style you have, it just does not work with that style. Because then the characters, like, they just don't look like the characters, you know? I don't know how to explain it, but like Husband's one of those where it's like very precarious when I try to draw them, you know. And I want to draw them because I love the characters and they're fun, but if I do them dirty, I'm just so ashamed. And then if you want to do it in their art style, it can be tricky, you know what I mean? Because it's so different from my art style. I did on Eon paper and one digital. I can't do perspective. The one on paper looks okay, but digital is bad. Oh, Lord. Oh, I can't remember the last time I drew something on paper. It is nostalgic, but it's just so convenient to be able to, like, transform things to different shapes and do layers, you know what I mean? The only time I draw on paper now is when I'm, like, trapped in a waiting room and I have literally nothing else to do, so I just gotta doodle on my notebook or something, you know what I mean? But it does always make me feel a little nostalgic. Because that used to be my life, man. I used to never... When I was young, growing up, and, like, doing most of my art, like, when I was learning to draw, drawing digitally wasn't really a thing, honestly. Like, if you wanted to draw on the computer, you had to do it with the mouse, you know? So it wasn't really a thing for so long. So I drew on traditional paper for so long. And when I first switched over to digital, it was really awkward. There's something about drawing on the tablet instead of paper was really hard to adjust to for me. I would usually do the drawing on paper and then scan it, put it onto the computer, and then do all the coloring and shading and stuff that way. But like actually doing the sketch, I never liked doing that on the computer. But I got used to it, and now I can't go back. Just can't do it. It's just too convenient, you know? It's way too convenient. Because so many times I have to, like, go and, like, transform shapes and stuff. And when you're on traditional, you just gotta erase it and redraw it over and over and again. You know what I mean? And you can flip. You guys know I have to flip. I cannot draw without flipping. It's a crime. Alright, luscious locks for the lovely unicorn. Okay, alright. And, oh lord, the body. Oh goodness. Okay, I'm gonna keep it cartoony, alright? Keep it nice and cartoony. The proportions don't have to be perfect because it's a cartoon, right? That's the beauty of cartoons. They don't have to look any particular way. You think they'd be easier for me because of that, but they're actually a little bit harder. I guess it depends on what exactly. Like, doing this potato is obviously easier than a realistic potato, but still. Okay, we're gonna give them little, like, hooves. Yeah, okay. I feel like... Okay, let me try something real quick. It's not cute enough. We need gods in here. Gods will draw it so much cuter than me. Gods is the master at drawing cute things, I swear. Okay, so there's a leg, and then here's another leg. Do you feel like the head is like normal-ish proportions, and the body is super cartoony, and I feel like it doesn't match? Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't think that works. Oh no, help. Ugh, okay, let's see, how can we do this? They got them big old back legs. Alright, yeah, them big old legs like that. Do they have, like, the backwards? Yeah, they do, okay. Bro, the backward leg thing for doing animals. I have never learned the anatomy for that, so it is always a little bit of a struggle for me. See, that it doesn't look right. I don't know why, but it doesn't look right. But it'll have to do. That'll just have to do, doodlers. Okay, alright. Perfect. Alright, now we're gonna put this potato on there, and then we did it. See, boom. See, digitally, how much easier that is? You can just move something around like it's nothing. It's great. Can't do it. Can't go back to traditional. Just can't be done. And there we go, we did it. Perfect. Oh, Lord, we got some doodles, though. There we go, we did it. Alright, so let's see here. It might be a good time to start the Reddity business. So right now I'm making a blinking animation for Astro, but after I'm gonna draw Angel Dust okay, so we do have a law in Doodleville that you're not allowed to blink, but I will make an exception, Astro. All right. I will put in the permits for you personally because you know, I think you have good intentions with your blinking. So I will make sure it gets pushed through to the appropriate channels. That way you're legally allowed to create the blinking. The Treaty of Medicine River in 1850? Dua? Are we about to learn some history right now? Treaty of Medicine River. What in the world? I do like history. On Monday, I will start my first... You're gonna start streaming, Famian? Yes, do it. There you go. You excited? Are you gonna be drawing on stream? What are you gonna stream? I'm decently happy with the paper one, but the digital one, I don't know why he looks weird. It matches because it doesn't match. I don't know if that makes sense. It has whimsy. All right, well, that's good. I'll just say I did that on purpose, and that will be good to go. It was all intentional, always. And that was something I always made a joke about in art college. Specifically because the type of art that they cared about in my college was the really, like, for example, everything that we draw, like OCs, anime characters, the type of art that I do, they're the kind of uppity people, and this is a long time ago, so keep that in mind, but they were the type of uppity artsy folks where what we draw, all of us, isn't real art to them. You know what I mean? Like, everything you see me do is not real art. What they thought was real art is to do something as shocking and unsettling and weird as possible. That is all they considered art to be, which I always found infuriating, but I was always the only one to think that. Because all the other students were like, yeah, I can't even say what they would do. You know what I mean? They would make sculptures out of certain parts of the body in a very graphic way and post them on the walls. And they were like, that's real art. And then I would do a nice little portrait of somebody's face, and I got a bad grade because it's not real art, right? Where was I going with this? I don't remember. Oh no. What the heck was I talking about? Help. Sounds like the kind of people that would support AI art. They were just, they were so... And again, like, I feel like there was a good chance that I would have, like, doubted myself with it. But because I was always so passionate about what I did, I never agreed with it. But, oh yeah, I remember. So the joke that I would always make is, like, you just make something random and then assign a meaning to it after the fact. And it was just like, oh, I'm just going to throw some stuff on a canvas and then make up something after the fact. And then you'd get a good grade. Like, that is how shallow their quote-unquote art was at my college. And I always hated it. Like, basically, everything that I learned in terms of doing artwork and in the art world, I completely taught myself. And I got an art degree. Like, anything I've ever used in real life with my artwork is all self-taught. They didn't teach me a darn thing that was useful. Like, nothing. And I do think it's probably different now with how colleges are, because I think it's more recognized that there are a lot of artistic fields. But for me, like, everything I learned, I had to teach myself. The only art class that I had that has actually been useful is a manga class I took in Japan. because they taught me how to make mangas, you know, and that's definitely, you know, a realm that I really enjoy and like and stuff like that. But everything at my regular college is just like for example, the teachers would always tell this story as if it was amazing that they did this, right? Oh, you all right, baby? Hold on, I hear one of them knocking something over. I gotta go check real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Okay, give me 1 second. And my headset is on Aliven. By the way, for those of you that can hear the music, is it okay? What do you think of the music? I'm trying a different playlist today. It's a little more on the cutesy side, so you can tell me if you love it or hate it, you know? I think I like the other playlist a little bit better, but it's getting kind of repetitive at this point. You know what I mean? So I wanted to try some new royalty-free stuff. All right, is that Freddy Fazbear? Yeah, this is we did this as a warm-up doodle a couple days ago. It's Freddy with a moth in his hand. So, what's up, Gigi? Like to request something? So, Gigi, the way that I do doodle requests, I have a Discord you can join, and then in there's a channel called Live Doodle Requests, and you can pop it in there, whatever you want. And then usually the days that I do doodle requests are Tuesday, Wednesday. Wait, no, hold on. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday are the days I typically do doodle requests. So you can pop it in there as long as it's, you know, safe for me to draw, like all these lovely doodles. All of these are doodle requests. At some point, it'll get doodle, baby. And it's free. You just gotta put it in there and that's it. It'll look like one of these, and I have like 50 pages of these, so we might have to start a new page soon. I'm getting close. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on the Reddit posts, my doodlers. I want to hear all your opinions on these posts, okay? I did the absolute mildest, thank you, Gummy. Gummy posted the Discord, Gigi, if you'd like to join. Also, if you do art yourself, you can post your own art in there. At the end of the weekday streams, we have a doodle time, which is where if you post it in the right channel, we'll see it on stream at the end of the stream. So we can see everybody's doodles, not just mine. But okay, so Saturdays are experimental days where we try new things. And this is something I have been really wanting to try because I love them so much. And they're art related, so we can all have very strong opinions on what we think. All right, so I had it written down, but I think I deleted the... Am I the booty hole? My handwriting is so bad. I'm doing this so it can be on the screen while I'm reading so people know what I am doing. I am working on like an actual, if we like this, I want to have like an actual like illustration specifically for this put up so that people, I don't want to put the text on the screen in case they're like curse words and stuff. You know how it is. But I'd like to have something visual for people to see so that when they come in, they hear me monologuing, they'll know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? All right. Some of you guys join the stream so I could feel less scared and alone. That would be very nice, but a lot of people are very nervous to go on a stream in general, Famian. So if somebody's willing to do that, they're awesome. But I wouldn't be surprised if people weren't, just because it is a lot. You know what I mean? It's super scary to do it. I was like shaking like a leaf the first time I went live. Okay. Maybe I should do like an actual drawing. You know what I mean? Something like this. You know what? Let's do it on here. Why not? Then we can see our beautiful Alistair a little bit more. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a little word bubble here. And he's gonna be saying, "Am I the booty hole?" Actually, Clip Studio has a thing built in for text bubbles. Now that I think about it, because this software was originally intended for making manga specifically. It used to be called Manga Studio. In the last, I guess, decade, it wasn't recently, but at some point they changed it to be Clip Studio because they wanted to be more inclusive with all that they offer. But originally, like when I got it, it was mainly for Clip Studio. So they have all kinds of Manga Studio. So they have all kinds of like manga stuff in here already built in to help you. If you ever want to make a comic, you know, I know some of you guys are working on comics. Clip Studio would be great for that because it is like built to making a comic, like panels and pages and all that. It's like the easiest way I can think of is using Clip Studio. Alright, so I'm gonna kind of, actually, let me get rid of that teal. We want to be professional here. There we go. And we're gonna do text like a professional. The a-hole. Alright, so Alistair's asking. Alright, we could pretend that Alistair is proposing these questions and we have to judge him. There we go. Alright, we did it. There we go. Perfect. Alright, get out of here. Alright, so we're gonna have this. I want to make sure it's nice and centered. Actually, let me not just a tad. There we go. Perfect. I want to make sure portrait mode on TikTok can see what it is we're doing exactly. I sent my doodle request. I'm the black minor cat named Kuro. Okay, there we go. So I do it a little bit in order, so keep that in mind. But the more you view the stream, the sooner it will be, because I wait to start your request until you're actually in the stream watching. So if you join on like a slow day, for example, and all the people ahead of you in line aren't watching, then you would be next, if that makes sense. So it might seem like it's a long wait, but a lot of times if you watch the stream, it'll be sooner than it seems. But all right, doodlers, are we ready? Are we ready to propose some hard thinking questions? Slimy, thank you for the prime. I appreciate it, Slimy. Did the thingy pop up? I hope it did. If it did, I didn't hear it. But thank you for the prime, Slimy. Slimy's a friend of mine, guys. All right, so we're gonna do this question. Let me pull up the first one here, and you guys give me all your opinions. All right, every last opinion, give me them. All right, they're all art related. So I'm gonna read them out, and then one of my favorite things to do with these is to read some of the top comments as well. I don't know why, but it's really fun to hear what other people are telling this person, because you kind of know what the reaction was that they received, and it can help you think about your opinion a little bit more thoroughly as well, because they might ask questions that the creator answers, which gives us more insight into it. All right, are we ready? Let's do it, doodlers. It's finally time. I'm gonna actually make my little lady a little bit bigger, since we got room to work with. So where is it? There we go. This one. There we go. We're gonna make it. Yeah, look at me. It's gonna be a little weird on we can just do that. I guess that'll work. on the TikTok what's it called? Portrait mode. You'll just see like my little gold spiky thing kind of sticking in there, but you know, turn your phone landscape, all right? It's a better experience, trust me. Do you draw my doodle first or theirs? I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, let me see. If I send a request and nobody joins, but the person that requested later joins, do you draw my doodle first or theirs? So when I'm drawing, I usually have enough time to do one doodle a stream, sometimes two. It just depends on the complicatedness of it. So when I first join the stream, I'll do a warm-up doodle to give everybody a chance to join. And then I will see who's in the chat and then see who's next in line, right? So if you join the stream later after I've already started, then we would have to wait until next time. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't want to stop in the middle of their drawing to start somebody else's. So I try to give everybody a good chunk of time to join the stream, but it would be who's ever in there when I'm deciding whose turn it is, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I'm not the best at explaining things. Let's see. But thank you for asking. I know it can be a little confusing sometimes, so always ask. I'll try my best. I'm not very articulate, but I try my best. I like reading the conversational ones, or if it's like my last doodle, I requested one doodle for almost, yeah. Sometimes it could take longer, you know, it just depends on the complicated doodliness. Normally, one per stream is about what it takes, but sometimes it could take more. Sometimes I can get several doodles done. It just depends, you know what I mean? All right, so we got that going. All right, I'm gonna try my best to be very articulate reading this. All right, so bear with me. I wish I could put the text on stream, but I feel like that's a little too risky. I didn't want to thoroughly read the entirety of these posts because I want it to kind of be a surprise a little bit so I can formulate my opinion with you guys. I did the briefest skimming I possibly could, but if I scan through to see if there's any curse words that I'm going to have to censor, because I would have to do that to put the actual text on screen, then I would already know all of these and it wouldn't be as fun, I think. But we'll see, you know, maybe I'll do that next time. But all right, let me hydrate, and then it's time to judge people. You guys ready to judge some people in art-related situations? 2 free sandwiches for what? Can I have one? What kind of sandwich? All right, everybody, get ready. I'm gonna do my reading voice. All right. Okay. And it's technically am I the a-hole, but I'm saying am I the naughty, all right? Just to keep it all nice and friendly, all right? So this one is called Am I the Naughty for Refusing to Remove My Own Artwork? Okay. We'll see what that means. Am I the naughty for refusing to remove my own artwork? I don't know what that will mean, but we'll see. Context, I am an 18 female. I am 18. Okay, so for whatever reason on these, they always say their age and their gender. So keep that in mind. So if I say I, 18 female, it's just them explaining the gender. I don't know why it really matters, but they all do it in these. So, let's see. Context, I am 18 female and I still live with my parents since I've only just recently graduated. My parents are very controlling and religious, and I've had to hide many of my likes and interests, as well as generally been restricted to only being able to wear, watch, and listen to what they approve of. Anything they deemed unworthy is thrown under. What does this say? Is throw under. I'm not sure what they mean by that. Anything deemed unworthy is throw under the you'll go to HE double hockey sticks, and Satan is possessing you to enjoy such unholy things. Okay, so it sounds like they have very controlling, hyper-religious parents, and this is an artsy type of person. Got it. Now, I like horror movies and creepy art. I made 2 pieces of art recently that are very lightly morbid. Just a crying girl and the other one not morbid in the slightest had 2 characters painting their nails, with one sarcastically saying, "Unalive me," when they messed up on the nails, the other character laughing in stride. Oh, this person's... Okay, keep in mind, this is all one really long sentence, so I'm trying my best here. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna start this very long sentence again, okay? Now, I like horror movies and creepy art. I made 2 pieces of art recently that are very lightly morbid. Just a crying girl, and the other, not morbid in the slightest, had 2 characters, painting their nails with one sarcastically saying "unalive me" when they messed up on the nails, and the other character laughing in stride. I hung them up because I wanted to show my personality in my room. My mother came in, looked at it, and started yelling at me to remove it and replace it with some family photos. She stated that my art... run-on sentences, please. And started yelling at me to remove it and replace it with some family photo. She stated that my art would attract negative energy into my life, even brought her younger sister as an example, saying that I would end up like her if I continued down the path. Okay, that should be a period too. For more context, her younger sister struggled with substance abuse, I guess I could say, for a while, and her family blames it on satanic influences of music and books. Okay, yikes. That's already a rough family dynamic. My goodness. Oh, it's the rule on Reddit, so they have to do that. Okay, interesting. I guess it can be helpful for context. She compared me to her sister many times. I've repeatedly told her I'm not her, I don't give them any trouble, and have always done as they asked. I figured since I'm 18 now, I deserve a bit more freedom to express myself, so I refuse to take the artwork down, and I'm facing potential punishment. Am I the naughty for refusing? So I think this one's pretty obvious. Basically, to summarize, it's a little hard to read because that whole thing was one sentence, and I'm assuming they're young, so, basically, they got very strict religious parents, and they have 2 drawings on 2 pieces of art that they did that's on their wall. One is like, what was the first one? One is a picture of a girl crying, and then the other one is 2 girls painting their nails and one saying "unalive me" because she messed up on the nails. So that's literally it. We're not talking about like nudity or anything like that. Like, it's the most nothing, not controversial drawing ever. And her parents are threatening to punish her if she doesn't take it down and replace it with a family picture. Now, I feel like the opinion is pretty obvious. I think most of us would agree, but what do you guys think? Are they the naughty for not taking down their drawings in their bedroom? Already not the naughty. Yeah, when you read the title, you kind of assumed one way, but sometimes it can send you a curveball. But just from the title, I was already feeling some type of way, and my opinion did not change. You guys hear that? Every time I'm streaming, Samsung has an update on my phone. Okay, sorry. Oh, it's such a pet peeve now. Every single time. All right, so let me, no, not the naughty. Yeah, so I think we, to keep it jolly and Christmas core. So I think we all have a pretty aligned opinion on that. My opinion is obviously not the naughty, right? I think that's pretty clear. So let's read some of the top comments. The first one, not the naughty. And once you get your own place, turn it into a palace of horror, then send your mom pictures. See, that's a good way to handle it right there. That's the thing, too. They're 18, so they are so close to moving out. You know what I mean? It's really unfortunate when parents are like that. My parents were never like that, but, like, I always get so furious for people whose parents are like this, And I get it. Some people are hyper-religious. It's complicated, but, like, something that, like, nothing, not to say that our art is nothing, but like that is not like a controversial, upsetting artwork, like in the slightest. Like I said, if this person's parents walked down the hallways of my art college, they would have had a panic attack every second of the way. Like that is nothing. So OP is the original poster, the one who wrote this post, replied to that comment and said, I do love this idea. I'll definitely have to do this once I get my bearings together. And yes, I agree that my main solution is to leave as soon as I'm physically able to afford it. Thank you for validating my decision. For now, I'll have to put up with it until I can escape. That is unfortunately the hard part. With the way the world is right now, it is really hard to move out. Most people in their 20s have to live with their parents for a long time because it's just, you literally can't afford the cheapest place to live until you get like a proper paying job. And I don't know how you even get those nowadays, you know, let alone when you're fresh out of college. Well, let's see, what's another one? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's right. The only thing that counts is their rules. You are now 18. Focus your energy on moving out if that suits you better. So this person is basically saying the original creator is kind of wrong. It's they're going with the their house, their rules type of thing. And I do know some people have that perspective. Does any of you think that, where it's she should take the art down because it's their house, their rules type thing? That's interesting. Master says nope. Yeah, see, that's the thing. If it was this, I could see that if it was a situation where it is the most gory, graphic, you know, like people doing the naughty, like in your face type of drawing, and they're like putting it in the kitchen or something. Then it's like, okay, you need to have some respect for the other people living here. That's a lot. You know what I mean? But this is not that. I'm sorry. It's in their own room. It's the least offensive drawing I think I've ever heard. And they should be able to post that in their room. That's ridiculous. Let's see. We'll do one more top comment. You are not the naughty, and your perspective on deserving more freedom is correct. However, like the others have pointed out, it's their home, and unless you're paying for your room, even then it would be kind of debatable. It's their choice. Is that fair? No. But that is the reality of the situation. As much as it sucks, try to keep your head down and save up to move out as quickly as possible. Once you move out, you can do whatever you'd like regardless of their opinions. When they inevitably object to your decorations or the movies you own after that, point out that it's your home and therefore your rules, just like when you lived in their home with their rules. So, yeah, I will say in reality, this person is never going to win the battle with their parents. So for OP's sanity, it might be better for them to take it down just to not deal with the nightmare that these parents are obviously going to put them through. Keeping it up is kind of for the principal thing, which obviously I respect and support if that's what they want to do. But it would be more stressful for them to keep it up. You know what I mean? But that being said, in my opinion, for something that's so non-offensive as the art that they described, no, I can't say they're the a-hole for that. You know what I mean? I can't do it. I had the mindset of, you made me, I didn't ask to be born. Legally, you have to help me until I'm on my feet. This is my space. I mean, fair enough. You know, I was lucky enough to have parents that were willing to help me out in that regard, but a lot of people don't. A lot of young people, they have parents that grew up in a completely different generation where they could immediately move out and buy a house at age 16. You know what I mean? A lot of parents, especially parents that sound like this, they don't understand that most people, 18, physically cannot afford even a cheap apartment right now. Like, they literally just can't. Even if they work 2 jobs, it's so expensive. They literally cannot afford to move out, no matter how hard they try. And that's the case for a lot of people, unfortunately. So I hope that doesn't happen for this person, but I know it is a possibility. So they'd have to basically just endure this type of treatment more. But, you know, all that stuff aside, they are not wrong for wanting to stick to their principles. Again, I do think it would be different if they were putting it in the living room and it's a very graphic picture or something. Obviously, that's different. But in their room, just a drawing of somebody crying, like, I can't say they're the a-hole for that. You know, I can't do it. I can see the my house, my rules thing, but I don't think that's enough to make this person in the wrong. TikTok keeps minimizing on me. Oh no. Alright, so that's it. We did the first one. I think we pretty much all agree, huh? Sorry, but where's the Discord? I missed it. So I think Gummy posted it for you. If you need the link, you can go to my Purple app account or my YT account. There, the links to the Discord are pinned in both of those. It's a little bit trickier on TikTok to have it posted because it'll disappear after like 30 seconds. But if you go over there, it's the same name. Just the Discord link will be pinned and you can join. And that's it, baby. Oh, thank you, Gummy. Gummy pinned it again. There you go. Problem solved. Gummy pinned the Discord link if you'd like to join. There you go. Alright, baby. Let's move on to the next one. I feel like that one was pretty straightforward, but there is an element where I can, I suppose, see, not so much for the principle of my house, my rules, but for like keeping their sanity. I understand just conceding, but if they don't want to, if they want to do the principle of it and keep their drawing up, I support them. You know what I mean? All right, the next one. We'll see if this one's a little bit longer, so we'll see if maybe there's more to chew on with this. All right, let me hydrate so I don't stutter too much. It removed it from my copy things, betrayal of the... Oh, no! That dirty, rotten iPhone. Alright, next one. Here's another one. This one got a lot of attention, so get ready. Am I the naughty for refusing to hang up the artwork my girlfriend got me for my birthday? Oh. Refusing to hang up the artwork my girlfriend got you for my birthday. Alright, you guys. You gotta tell me what you think. This could go either way for me right now. My 26 male birthday was a few weeks ago. My girlfriend, 24, and her friend are into things that I find a little outlandish and weird. I love her and her uniqueness, and I appreciate what she does, but I do think some of their habits and interests are unusual. Okay. We do not live together. She's made comments about how I need more artwork, and I agreed. Oh, like artwork to hang up on the house. Okay. She got me artwork, a homemade piece of artwork that she was given the idea through TikTok or something. Her best friend also did the same thing for her boyfriend. The best I can describe it is it's like she made like a print of her booty and legs on a canvas. It's like she sat in paint and then sat on... Oh, so it's kind of like the handprint thing, but it's of her butt. Okay, got it. Something like that. All right. Honestly, it must have turned out really well because you can clearly tell it's a booty. The problem just arose recently because she came over and found the painting in my closet. She asked why it's not up, and I tried to dance around it. I did tell her the truth, that my parents stop by sometimes and I didn't want them to see it. She started telling me that the picture is beautiful and I should want to embrace her, and some more lines about how I should embrace our intimacy. I told her that honestly I find it off-putting. I think it is weird and borderline creepy. I told her I'm very uncomfortable hanging up something like that, and if she checked with me in the first place, I would have told her. She asked if I truly wasn't going to hang it up. I told her no, I will never consider putting it on my walls, but I appreciate the thought. She started crying, said I'm ungrateful butthole, and she took the painting and said she will hang it up at her place. She said her friend's boyfriends love the one he got, so she can't get why I'm being such a jerk about this. I don't think I'm a jerk for not wanting an albeit artistic, unrevealed image of my girlfriend on my walls. Am I the naughty? If anything, the girlfriend needs help. Also not the naughty. Oh, Famian thinks they're naughty. I see you, Famian. Okay. So, before I get into my opinion, let's read some of the top comments, because those, a lot of times they'll reply and that'll give us more to work on. Gummy says, not the naughty boundaries. I genuinely break up after her tantrum. I don't want someone's butt on my wall, girlfriend or not. That is absolutely fair. You said YT right, because if not, I don't know how to join. Oh no, I think you, Gummy, I'm so sorry. Astro, stay right here. Stay right here, Astro. Gummy, would you be able to pin that comment one more time for me? So Gummy will, thank you. So Gummy just posted the link to the Discord. It'll last for 60 seconds. If you click that, you should be able to join. Let's see here. Okay. So this is one of the top comments. Not the naughty. That's the kind of gift you only get someone if they're 100% into unrevealed artwork and are comfortable with displays of intimacy. Plus, the length of your relationship comes into play here. I wouldn't want the booty of my girlfriend of 6 months on the wall, but a girlfriend of 2 years could be a different story. And the OP replied, we have been together for almost 2 years. I still don't want her booty on my wall. And then the commenter replied, totally understandable, man. She needs to respect your preferences. All right. Let's see. We got another top comment. Not the naughty. I think you handled it well. Maybe ask her if she could paint something else that plays into her creativity and still meets your boundaries. And then OP replied to this. They said, I did. She gave me a response like she got me a birthday gift, and I'm a naughty for being like... Hold on. The grammar's a little messed up here. Okay. I did. She gave me a response like she got me a birthday gift, and I'm the naughty for being like, make me a different gift. I didn't like the first one. Okay. So I actually really liked that comment. I think that was a really fair way of looking at it. Ask if she could paint you something else that plays into her creativity and still meets your boundaries. I think that's a great way of looking at it. But apparently, it sounds like the girlfriend was not having that. Let's see, we got one more. Most of the comments are pretty much the same. So my opinion on that is pretty much the same as you guys. This guy is not the naughty. Everyone is allowed to read a Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I saw that. I got rid of them as soon as I saw that, Gummy. But I appreciate you you being on it. But yeah, they're gone. No. We're not having that. All right. Basically, my opinion is he is not the naughty. I could see how someone could be a little bit mean about it, but he handled it very politely and respectfully. He didn't immediately, he's like, that's horrible. I'm not putting that. He was like, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. He just didn't want to hang it up on his wall. And he has every right not to do that, especially if he has family coming over that he doesn't want them to see that. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? If he's into that and he wants to post it, that's fine. But like, from her perspective, she is basically trying to make him show his girlfriend's booty to his family members. Like, that is basically what she's wanting from him. If you kind of break it down into a nutshell, she expects her boyfriend to make her family look at her painted booty on the wall. And that is ridiculous, all right? I could totally see anyone having an issue with that and having that boundary. I think that's very reasonable, and I think that honestly, I kind of feel like she's taking the artistic part of it as an excuse. Does that make sense? Like, she's like, oh, it's artistic expression, so you have to accept it because it's art. And yes, some people would be upset about seeing a booty on the wall, but it's art. You know what I mean? Like, that, again, that's kind of the vibe of my college. You know what I mean? That I was talking about earlier. It just comes off like an excuse, and she is being utterly, entirely, what's the word I'm looking for? Inconsiderate of her boyfriend's perspective. And again, I could see him like coming at it and being a little harsh, and then I could see her being hurt by that. But that's not what happened. He was very respectable, and he has every right to have that boundary. Like, absolutely not. She sucks. I'm sorry. The girlfriend sucks. Like, she could have given him that gift, and then when he said, I don't want my family members to see it, she could understand that, be like, yeah, I get that. That's fine. The fact that she couldn't do that for him, and she's making it all about, like, how dare you not appreciate my deep, thoughtful artwork that I made for you. She's completely selfish. Completely and utterly selfish. Is this a rant stream? Seems legit. Stingray, what's up? So we're doing Am I the A-hole Reddit stories right now that are art related. So we just read one about a girlfriend gave her boyfriend basically a painting of her butt, right? And the girlfriend's mad that the boyfriend won't hang it up on the walls in his house because he has family coming over. And our consensus is that obviously he's not the butthole for not wanting to put a booty on his wall. But the girlfriend is very upset that he won't do that. And she sucks. All right, I'm just gonna lay it out. I'm not being nice. She sucks. She's being so selfish and inconsiderate. That's really crappy of her. Do you guys, if you guys read Reddit stuff, do you always see the joke where it's like, divorce? Just go straight to divorce every time. I'm kind of leaning that. I try to avoid being like, you should break up with her, but like I've told you guys this before, respecting boundaries is very important in relationships, and she is not doing that right now, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Look, I'm sorry, but she's the wrong one. I can get it if your portrait she made, if it was a portrait of her and he offended. Hold on, my brain. Sorry, Gummy. Look, I'm sorry, but she's the wrong one. I can get it if a portrait she made of her and offered. Am I having a stroke? What is happening? It was a portrait she made of her and offered he didn't hung it up, but that's her butt. She put no. See, that's the thing too. The way that he described it, it didn't sound like it was a lot of effort. And you know, again, my art college would be like, oh, it doesn't have to. The amount of effort doesn't matter. But like, it kind of does in situations like this. I'm not gonna say in art in general, the more effort, the better it is by default. But like something like this, like it sounds like it's a handprint thing, but her butt. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't think she put her heart and soul into that. You know what I mean? Yeah, and again, if it, like you were saying, if it was something she worked on, she put a lot of effort into, she didn't do that for this. I'm sorry. That's why punctuation matters. Yeah. Dude, the one before that, there was like, it was one sentence, and I'm trying really hard to read it articulately, but they attest to me, bro. These Reddit posters attest to me. All right, so I think we all pretty much agree, right? They're not the a-hole. Not at all. I think the girlfriend sucks and I don't like her. And I'm not going to say he should break up with her, but he needs to have a talk with her because boundaries are very, very, very important in relationships. And she's not even trying to understand his perspective right now. She is so obsessed with herself and what she wants. She doesn't care in the slightest how he feels. And he has a very reasonable perspective that most people should understand. So, yeah, she sucks. They need to have a conversation. And if she's not willing to reciprocate or respect his boundaries, then she can get out. She can scram. All right, get your booty paintings out of here. Get out of here. All right, so that's 2 for 2. 2 non-naughties. They're both good boys. No bad boys yet. They're all innocent. All right. The only minimal effort art piece I can consider art is the banana taped to the wall. It apparently represents how rich people will pay for anything considered art, which I find kind of cool. So, I gotta be honest, I didn't know that. I think I did at some point, but I forgot that was the reason behind that. And I absolutely can respect kind of making a point to make fun of dumb rich people buying nothing. Like, honestly, what's it called? I don't know if this is conspiratorial or whatever, but it's, am I allowed to say this? You know, so it's money, and then the second word is what you do to clean your clothes. You know what I'm talking about? Money. You know what I'm talking about? The thing you do when you're cleaning your clothes or dirty clothes. You know what I'm saying? I honestly kind of believe that a lot of the most famous rich artwork out there is just that. Because it really is, it's infuriating. Oh my God, you guys. Oh, or I could go on an hour-long rant about artwork that is just nothing. Like, it's a canvas painted solid black and that's it. That people will spend, exactly, Alistair, thank you. I can't say it, but you can. People will spend millions of dollars on. And again, I think the reason why it infuriates me so much is because I see that in an art museum. And then I put my heart and soul into doing artwork like Mr. Allister here, you know, and someone will go into my face and tell me I'm not a real artist and this isn't real art. Like, it happened to me so many times in college. But then I'll see a black canvas with nothing on it that some dude who did it got billions of... You know how much work I have to put into a commission and I still can't afford anything? Like, I sell commissions for like $80, and that is like hours and hours and hours of work I put into it. And this guy can do a black canvas and make $1 million. Like, it's infuriating, and it would make perfect sense if it is the money blank. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, all right. We ready for the next one, Doodlers? Thank you guys for engaging. I'm always excited to hear your opinions, so. All right, Stingray, if you're hanging around, give me your opinions after the next one. I want to hear it. What you confused for, Famian? Don't be confused. It's okay. I'm confused all the time. I understand. All right, this one's a little bit longer, okay? So ask me to clarify if you need to. I also like the Yves Klein paintings. You'd have to read into those on why just a blue canvas is cool. So I'm not saying they can't be cool. I'm talking about the like particularly egregious ones that are clearly just money blank things. You know what I mean? I'm not of the perspective, like there are some that I thought was ridiculous and then I learned the reason. Like sometimes the reason behind something can change it, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But there is a lot out there that I can tell they just did that to have some money go somewhere else for some rich people, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know. A lot of this is my, me being, you know, my PTSD from my art college experience. Oh boy. You know how many times people told me my art wasn't real art in there? Alright, I'm not gonna keep ranting about it. Let's see. Did you guys hear that? Mitzi, you could sit right there because I'm not drawing right now. Mochi's trying to protest, but it's not going to work today. Because I'm not drawing. I'm reading. You heard it? Yay! Okay, he says with a skeptical raised eyebrow. You're gonna love it, Stingray. It's Am I the A-hole, but it's art-related stuff, so we can all have our spicy opinions about it. Alright, so this next one. Am I the naughty for turning in a painting a friend helped me make? Okay, I mean, off the bat, that doesn't sound too bad. It's not like you're turning in a painting somebody else made and you're turning it in as your own. They're just helping you make it. That could be okay, you know? Alright. I have to move it over here because Mochi is blocking the way a little bit, but let me zoom in a little. Oh, baby. I'm trying to zoom in here. I can read it. Perfect. All right. There we go. Am I the a-hole for turning in a painting a friend helped me make? I know what I did was not the best thing to do, but is it as bad as my friend is making it out to be? So for some context, I am not super artistic, but I had to take an art class to pass. And my friend is in the same boat, but is waiting to take their art class. Okay. This starts a while ago as soon as classes started. Me and my friend were just hanging out and got bored. And since I have painting stuff, I suggested we do some painting. And we did, and we both painted on the same canvas. After that, I just put the incomplete painting on my wall, and we both forgot about it. Okay, so I guess it's kind of like a collab, right? They both did a painting together. Fast forward 3 months, and I have 2 paintings due, and I haven't even started the second one yet. I'm in my room trying to think of what to do, and I see the painting me and my friend made that has been in my room for a while. So I decided to quickly finish it and turn it in just so I could have something submitted. Wasn't thinking anything of it, I just needed something to submit. But fast forward again to a couple of weeks ago, and by then I am done with the painting class, and one day I guess my friend... Oh, hold on. She's going through something right now. All right, there you go, mama. She was like trying to get past the mic. All right. But fast forward again to a couple weeks ago, and by then I am done with the painting class, and one day I guess my friend is walking past the art room, and she sees our painting in there. They then, without confronting me first, hold on, y'all, I'm trying to translate this grammar. All right. They then, without confronting me first, go to all our other friends and say, how am I... Mochi, stop it. Stop it. Mochi found a way to sabotage. Okay, let's start that sentence over. I understand what they're trying to say now, so we can get through it. I guess my friend is walking past the art room and sees our painting in there. They then, without confronting me first, go to all our other friends and say how I am using them because I stole a painting that they made, and they said that all I did to it was add a background. So at this point, I have completely forgot the painting even exists, but all of my friends are avoiding me for some reason. Until a different friend finally tells me what's going on, and I explain that we both worked on the painting and that it was with my paint and my canvas and was in my room for 3 months. Okay. And we get to now where half of the friend group hates my guts because I used my one friend for a painting, and the other half, including me, doesn't understand why they are so angry. And then we got to edit. Okay, I do love when they do edits because it's usually them like replying to comments. So we'll get an idea of what the comments are saying here. Edit. I am not asking if me submitting a painting me and my friend made was wrong. I know that wasn't right. I'm asking if it deserves them cutting all ties with me over a single painting. Okay. And then we got a second edit. I know it wasn't right, but does it need this level of hatred? So am I the naughty, and do they have the right to be so angry and hate me, or are they just making this out to be much bigger than it is? Okay, how are we feeling right now? But it's just a project, shouldn't be such a big deal. Alistair said they both have input. Okay. Oh, you got a comment? Thank you. Thank you, appreciate that. Let me make sure this one's up here. Okay. Let me read some of the top comments before we get into it a little bit. I love the comments, you guys. If you ever see YT or something doing these videos and they don't read the comments, they need to read the comments. It's like my favorite part. Okay. First top comment. You are the naughty for taking credit for someone else's work and betraying them. Simple, really. Okay. Second top comment. You are the naughty. You should have asked your friends permission first. And then another one. You are the naughty. This is also academic fraud. Here's another one. You are the naughty. Look at it this way. Would you have submitted a short story someone else wrote and you just added a couple of paragraphs? There's literally no difference. Sometimes else's work and you submitted it as your own. Okay, so I do have a question. So the way that I took it from the beginning was that it was like a collab where they both did an equal amount of work. But the way that they're kind of explaining this, it's as if the other person pretty much did it and then this guy just added a little bit to it. Am I misunderstanding? Because the comments seem to be coming from that perspective, but when I read it, my impression was they both equally did as much work as the other. Alistair, what's up? My beautiful boy, we love you. Look, I got your human face right here while we judge people. Come judge with us. Well, they should have at least got credit. Okay. I feel like everyone sucks in this. They should have asked their friend about it, but the friend group shouldn't have ignored them. They should have communicated. Yeah, but they shouldn't go as hard as cutting contact. Just say you wouldn't do it again. Stingray, that's kind of what I thought is they did equal. Yeah, so that... And I do feel like that makes a difference. Like if it was the friend's painting and then after the fact they went in and added a little something and turned that in, I do think that's a big difference from them both equally doing a painting together, you know? I will say there is the element where it is technically wrong to submit something as if you did it, even if you didn't do it. Well, what are you doing? Get out of here. All right, we got the music back. Sorry about that. You should post what you did and not something else. You know what I mean? Okay. But honestly, like, they're wrong for that. They shouldn't have done that. We get it. If it is what I'm understanding, where they both equally did as much work as each other, and then right before they were going to submit it, they did a little bit more to it and turned it in, they are wrong for not giving them credit. Not at least, I honestly think what they should have done, which probably would have resolved a lot of this, is if they just told their friend ahead of time, like, hey, I got to submit something. I don't have anything. Can I submit the one that we did? You know what I mean? I think that would have solved the problem. Because honestly, if I did that with my friend and they asked me, can I do that? I'd be like, yeah, go ahead. It's just a project. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, some people might have a problem with that, but I feel like a lot of people would just be like, whatever, it's just a grade in a class. You know, this isn't like an art competition to get accepted into a college or something. I mean, maybe it is, but I don't think so. I feel like that would have solved the problem. I think their point is just they didn't really think about it because they didn't think it was a big deal. So I will say they are wrong for doing that. They should have at least credited them or asked them about it. But honestly, I do think that their reaction of hating them viciously is a little too much. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a little too much. Again, he didn't submit this into an art competition to win money. You know what I mean? Like, that would be different. It's just to pass a class. Like, honestly, I wouldn't personally, and this is just me personally, I wouldn't care. You know, I really wouldn't. I wouldn't care at all. Like, I would appreciate it if you asked me, though. That's the big thing. If you asked me, I would say yes, because I don't really care. You know what I mean? It's a school project. Who cares? That's what I would have preferred. But if someone did this to me, and, you know, I've always been like the art friend in my friend group. And, so, you know, I kind of understand what this is like. If I saw someone, me and my friend did a painting together, and I'm just going to go into it with the perspective of we did 50-50, right? We 50-50 did this painting together. They added a little bit more and submitted it. I would be a little confused and be like, is that the one that we did? Why did you do that? And then they could explain like, oh, I just needed to post something real quick. And at most, I would be like, oh, well, you should have asked me. You know what I mean? I guess I could see it's a little, you know, it would be much more respectful to at least ask or give a heads up or something. But just for me personally, I wouldn't really care that much. And the other person absolutely has the right to be angry at them for this. Absolutely. I'm not saying that. But I think getting all of their friends to despise them is a lot. That I personally think that's a lot. You know what I mean? But I'm very curious to see what you guys think. What do we think? Is this a college class or high school? That's a good question. Does it say in here? Hold on, TikTok. TikTok, are you guys alive? I don't know why that happened. TikTok Studio sucks. Sorry about that. Artemis, what's up? Let's see. Tangerine said, I don't know, but I feel like the friend overreacted. That's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of what I thought is they did equal. We saw that. My one question is, did they not like sign it or at least put their name on it? It seems like they didn't. It seems like they didn't sign. Maybe the OP signed it after the fact. You know what I mean? But it sounds like the other person never signed it. They were just kind of doing it for fun and it wasn't a big deal. I will say it's a little weird, OP kind of saying like, it's my painting and my canvas, therefore it's my art. I thought that was a little weird. You know what I mean? It really doesn't matter who paid for the painting and the canvas. If both of you guys work together to do it, that doesn't matter, in my opinion. So that was a little off to me. But, you know, overall, I still feel like it's a little bit of an overreaction for an art project. You know, friend could use the same art piece. That's a good point. Although I guess if they go to school at the same place, they wouldn't be able to. But maybe they can use it if they're in high school now. Then the other friend could use it in a college project. You know what I mean? Why not? You know? To make things equal. Yeah, you know, I'd be down for that. Maybe, maybe not. What's up, Michael? We're doing some Reddit readings. Let's see what we got over here. Oh, hold on. This is in high school. I don't think they specify. I want to say high school. But I don't know. Let's see. It does say that they worked on it together and they quickly finished it, which makes me feel as if it was quickly done and not much added. I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the impression I got too. Now that I think about it, why did they wait last second to turn that in? If they didn't have time, sick, funeral, etc., you'd have time to ask beforehand. If it was procrastinating, why do you get to turn in something you work 50% for or less for a full grade? So because they don't have an excuse as to why they turned it in last minute, I don't think, it comes off to me like it was procrastinating, like, or maybe they just forgot about it. Now, again, that's bad. They're bad. They're a bad student. You shouldn't procrastinate. You should get it done. It is your fault if you don't do it until the last minute. That's not an excuse for you to do this. I can relate because I was the ultimate procrastinator and I always forgot to do everything until the last minute, so I understand the pure panic and distress. But it was always my fault in that case, so it's really not an excuse. So I feel like if there was an excuse that was reasonable, they would have said it. It's probably just because they were procrastinating. What's up, Spooky? We're debating on if this person is the naughty or not. I want to say high school because of the mental development. Yeah, the clickiness is, that kind of lends to high school. How clicky they are, how willing all the friends are to just vehemently hate this person. A lot of times in stories like this, I'm always wondering if the author is leaving something out. And I know that's not really like in the spirit of these. The point of these is you just kind of have to more or less believe what they're telling you because you can't know the actual truth. You just have to base it off of what you got. But whenever it's a situation where it's like, this little thing happened and now they all my friends, every last one of them vehemently hate me and I'm such a victim. A lot of times with situations like that, it's kind of like that saying where it's like, if the world is telling you you're wrong, it's probably not the world that's wrong. It's probably you. But again, I don't know that, but I do wonder, you know what I mean? Like, because I honestly do think it would be crazy for all of the friends to vehemently hate them for this particular thing. You know what I mean? So I do wonder if there's more to it that they're not saying. But again, we can never know, so we can't really base our opinion based off of that. Let me check some of these top comments. Maybe they'll reply and give us some more. Nope. I don't see. But all the commenters pretty much agree that they are the naughty. And it feels like we, can I get a quick summary? So basically, two friends, they both did a painting together. From my understanding, it was like 50-50. They both, like, worked on the same painting together. Put it in their room, forgot about it. Months later, he was in an art class. He needed to submit something for a project. Didn't do the painting he needed to do for whatever reason. So quickly added a little bit more to this painting and then submitted it as their own for class, right? And now, after they did that, they didn't think much of it. The friend is furious that they did this and convinced the whole friend group of theirs to hate the original poster of this. And they're asking, they admit that they shouldn't have done that, but they're asking, is it normal for them to all despise me as like this much over this? So our kind of overall consensus is yes, they shouldn't have posted it as their own. That's naughty. But I don't think it's a big enough deal. Like, this isn't like an art competition where they're going to win money or something. It's just an assignment in school. I don't think it's a big enough deal personally to destroy an entire friend group over. You know what I mean? But the other friend does absolutely have the right to be upset. You know what I mean? But I think the reaction might be a little extreme. You know what I mean? I don't think they're naughty. I think the others are overacting. Okay, fair. Yep, fair. Again, like, it's a personal thing, right? For me personally, if my friend did this, I would not care. I could not care less. I would appreciate if they had given me a heads up. But honestly, even if they didn't, I wouldn't care. It's a grade in school. Like, I just don't care enough. You know what I mean? But maybe the friend was very proud of this painting. You know, maybe they wanted credit because they love how it turned out. You know, it really depends on the perspective of the person, but that's just personally my perspective. You know what I mean? A lot of time people will only take what they hear and agree with it. That's a good point. Yep. That's the rumor mill. You know what I mean? The friend group was basically told the OP stole her friend's art and just added something. You know what? That is probably what happened. I think the friend probably described it as like, that's my painting. And then they just scribbled a little bit on top and submitted it as their own. And that would be worse. You know what I mean? I could see them being more upset by that, if that makes sense. I scrolled so far, you live pod. Well, that's good, Rocker. I'm glad that I'm popping up on somebody's page. So that's reassuring. Welcome back. Rocker, we're doing the Reddit story. So I can tell you're the type with opinions just like me. So you should stay for the next one. Tell us what you think. Okay, let's see. Gonna say OP is the one in the wrong fully now based on what I said in the last chat. Honestly, can we even be sure that the friend convinced? It could have been like, hey guys, I'm hurt by OP doing this, so I may not hang around them for a while. And the friends are just like, yeah, what? That's not cool, OP. I mean, that's another possibility. Absolutely. It could be the friends taking it on themselves. We don't know how the friend talked to the other friends. I am a little inclined to believe that they were probably a little overly passionate. Again, from my perspective, if someone described that to me, like, for example, if I had a friend who's a friend with my other friend, like we're all in the friend group, and they came to me like that, hey, I'm hurt by what this person did. Personally, I would probably go, I'm the type where I like to confront and figure out what's going on. So personally, I'm the type that if I heard something like that, I would try to go to the other person and understand what happened. But again, a lot of people don't do that. Like you said, a lot of people just take it and then roll with it, you know? So I don't know. I think if it is purely what OP said, where that is exactly what happened, then I do think they're overreacting a bit, you know? So I guess in essence, there are options with these. You could say you're the a-hole, no a-holes here, like everybody is innocent, or everyone sucks. I think this would be an everyone sucks kind of thing, if that makes sense. But the Reddit disagrees. This one got labeled an a-hole. So, which I think is very interesting because we are the types that, we are the group of people. Hold on, is my stream okay? It's saying it's unstable right now. Are we okay? Let me check the internet right now. Because suddenly, Twitch is telling me my stream is unstable. Let me try this again. What's going on here? You're unstable, not your stream. What? I mean, that's fair. Can't deny that. So those of you on Purple app NYT, yeah, I can see it buffering a little bit. Oh, that sucks. Why? Is it just because when I stream too long, it starts doing this? Ugh. Okay, let me try closing some stuff. See if I can salvage the stream without having to restart. So Purple app, I mean, TikTok looks like it's fine, but Purple app is having a problem with the stream. Gummy, is it buffering over there for you? It's TikTok being unstable. So honestly, right now, TikTok is the one that looks like it's doing the best. Let me look at YT. Yeah, YT is giving me problems too. Which really sucks. Okay. Why? Why is it doing it? It's been fine all stream. Why is it having a problem now? That's so annoying. Yeah, it's saying the bit rate is really low now. The stream is unstable. And I can see it. It's like kind of laggy.